Several years ago, I was partnered in a medical imaging business in Columbus, Ohio, and we decided to utilize a stand-up MRI machine. And the premise behind a stand-up MRI machine is that you could get scanned in a position of pathology, pain, or symptom. And the belief behind this from the manufacturer is that it will produce a better, more accurate result. The really cool thing about a stand-up MRI machine is when you're being scanned, you could actually watch TV, which eliminates the claustrophobic effect commonly associated with MRI. What we decided to do is pull together a multidisciplinary team of some really smart people at The Ohio State University. We got a world-class biomechanical engineer in the academic or the neurosurgery department at Ohio State to collaborate, and we came up with this hypothesis to say at that time in the United States that 50% of all MRIs taken were of the spine, and 50% of all back surgeries performed, or up to 50% of all back surgeries performed, were a failure. So we thought there was some correlating data between the two. So my role with these individuals was to convince the Institutional Review Board to approve the study. And then I essentially turned the lights on and got out of the way and let the smart people do what they do. I tell you that story as the foundation of some of what my talk is today, and that's taking an old school business principle, which is replacing pricing with passion, product, and promotion. So a quick show of hands. How many people in the room today, life has been impacted by an MRI, whether you had one, a friend, or a family member? So if you could just put your hand up for a moment. I hope the results turned out in a positive way or a positive manner for you, because 13 years of being on the front lines of business development, marketing, and healthcare, I was all too close to it. So basically the entire room, pretty much the majority of the people raised their hand. I'd also like to see now a show of hands of the individuals in the room that know who invented the MRI. If you could raise your hand, please. Oh, great. If you all raise your hand, then I have to walk off the stage because it pretty much blows up the rest of the talk. So I'm not, even though I'm at a tech conference here, I'm going to take advantage of social media real quick. I was not smart enough or savvy enough to figure out how to upload my images for my presentation into Dropbox. So I'm going to shoot a quick Twitter message, take advantage of modern technology here. In 1972, at the State University of New York, Dr. Raymond Damadian was the first person that had the belief, when nobody else thought it was ever going to be possible, to take pictures of soft tissue inside of your body by exciting water molecules. And as those atoms were coming to rest, he figured he could take those pictures and put them on a piece of X-ray film and then give those back to a doctor. The problem that he solved for in that process was the fact that we had done exploratory surgery up to that point. So think about this for a second. You go to your doctor says, hey, you've got a problem with your knee, so what we're going to do is in a couple of weeks we want you to come back, we're going to cut you open, and when we get inside, we'll take a look around and we'll see what's wrong. I don't know about you, but to me that sounds a little bit, no offense to the cavemen, but that sounds a little bit archaic. So Dr. Damadian went on to not only commercialize the first MRI in usage, but formed the company. But yet, here's an individual that has impacted every life in this room today. But nobody knows who he is. And I'd like to take a little bit deeper dive into that. I brought Dr. Damadian with me to help promote the business in front of a room full of neurosurgeons when they asked him, why is it better? And in an evidence-based medicine society that we live in today, he said, it's just because it is, you need to use it. I still laugh at that because I fell off my chair and he didn't do me any favors on that at that particular moment. And so it dawned on me, we all know who put the smartphone in our hand, and we all know who put the software on our PC. But another individual that maybe has impacted our lives even more profoundly, we have no idea who he is. And because like a lot of inventors, They believe so adamantly in their invention and what they're giving to the rest of the world, which is a true gift that I don't have, is their ability to be able to, not through osmosis and go out and tell the world about what their product is, but their ability to actually be able to promote it. In 2005, the world was a lot different in the sense from a marketing standpoint. And with the advent of mobility solutions and in social media in its infancy, all the healthcare journals and trade publications were questioning any medical practice or related business that would actually take to social media to market that business. They said, why would you want to have your medical related practice associated with the site where college kids are posting pictures of cake parties? And I said to myself, that's exactly what I want to do. Because of the fact that it was so disruptive that the local and national media took note. And here we sit today in 2014. 80% of all healthcare research in your households starts with online search. 50% of the people in this room today will take advice over social media from people they don't even know on where to seek their medical advice. So 6 billion hours every month are being consumed on YouTube. And that's 1 hour for every person on the face of the earth. There's 500 million tweets that are sent out per day. And 1 in 5 views of the internet people go take a look at Facebook. So I like to believe that even though Dr. Damadian's had the opportunity now to even go and take advantage of those mediums, it's still lost on me as to why that's not taken place, and I don't unfortunately have a good answer for that. But it brings me to a very fundamental, crucial point, and 2 things that I'd like to leave you with today. The first is that the gift that Dr. Damadian gave to the rest of the world and his ability to be able to have impacted all of us, following his passion and a product to solve for a much larger problem. It saddens me the fact that we don't necessarily know who this individual is and celebrate him like our other great inventors around the world. But it's also a cautionary tale to tell you that I believe in you so much that if you have the passion and you believe in conviction of whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's an innovative idea in your workplace, or you're starting a business, or you've got a tech idea that fundamentally solves a problem that I have, and it's going to make my life better, and is potentially even life-saving, and it doesn't have to be, but you're starting out and it's going to solve a problem. I ask you this, and I challenge you this, because we all have this great ability now to impact the world, is that you find a compelling, interesting way to promote that to me. Thank you.